I hate this. I really do. There's nothing that like makes me sadder than seeing someone finish a really big, like really elaborate and cool-looking model. They've made this massive, you know, custom set with all these different pieces. They've colored it all in. They may have even given the character a cool, unique pose. But for some reason, what they forget is this goddamn hand. Like, all you have to do is you go into pose, you go into advanced, and you change these. Like, just any of these will give the character so much more personality than the default one, and not just because the default one looks stiff, and it does look stiff, but it's also just because everybody knows this is the default, and because of that, by association, it looks worse than it otherwise would. I mean, like just changing one hand to that and changing the other hand to this, and immediately you have so much more personality. And I mean, the same goes for face, but it's more common that people will actually edit the face, so that's not as big of a problem. Most people will, you know, change these around and make like a really derpy looking face. Now, to a lot of people this might be obvious, but one of the most common issues in Heroforge is that people... what a lot of these rookie mistakes boil down to is essentially people just kind of... They choose a set, they choose some colors, and then they call it a day without... They finish a model before they really know the extent of what you can actually do with this. So, like, you know, a standard example would be, oh wow, what is this? Oh, this looks cool. And then, oh, gear, I need a big sword. Oh, is this a katana? Oh, nice. Now I need some color. Oh, I'll go into the themes. And then they'll click, you know, body, they'll click a theme. And then they'll click some color. Oh, this looks nice. Ah, it's finished. And I'm telling you, no, don't do this. Don't do this. Don't use the themes. Okay, let's like rookie mistake number 2 after the hand posing. These themes, the colors in these themes are designed to work with the other colors in the themes, if that makes sense. So if we pick a clothing theme here, for example, we take something like this one, orange and purple, or orange and pink in this case, and orange and green. These are colors that contrast very well. So basically all this is some Heroforge employee has like looked at a color wheel and basically just taken things that really nicely contrast with each other. But unless this is what you want, unless this color scheme here is perfect for the character that you're making, then you're gonna have a hard time editing this after this point. And not only because every time you swap a piece of clothing, it's going to adjust according to what that theme would select on it, which is annoying in and of itself when you're trying to edit. But more importantly, like, let's say you thought, oh, this is close enough, I'll just change the orange parts to red or whatever. Then it's gonna look really dumb, because these colors are, again, designed to work with each other, but they're not designed to work with whatever colors you put on. So just believe me, don't use the themes at all. Just go into paints, use all of these, and then edit them to your own liking in the mix. Never ever use the themes. The themes are a trap. Now, this next tip, obviously, I have been over this kind of in my other videos as well, so it may come as no surprise to people who watch this, but again, the baseline options for these body sliders are all off. I mean, like the base height, what is this, like 6 feet? Yeah, this is not 6 feet. I'm sorry, but a 6 feet person in real life doesn't look like this. You know what a 6 feet person in real life looks like? They look like this, which according to Heroforge is 7 feet apparently. And the same thing, the same issue goes with most of the colors. Now, there are a lot of colors which are decent to begin with, but most of these will look better if you edit them. And just as a prime example of this, these eyes, right? You can see in my own library, I have so many different eyes, but because of this reason. And if we just take blue and we look at this, does a normal pair of eyes look like this? Do they? Or does a normal pair of eyes look like this? And basically, that is because Heroforge style is inherently cartoony, And unless you want your character to look really baby-faced with massive baby blue eyes, then I would recommend always edit these. And obviously if you do have Pro, then make a library and just set up these icons. I mean, you can see here NPC blue, NPC green, NPC brown, which is just my replacement for blue, green, brown, etc. Now, when I earlier on smacked on this katana with this outfit, you may have noticed something, and if we look here at the difference, like look at all this detail on this katana sword here, and this will look even better with color on it. Look at all this like nice tiny little detail on this sword, and then compare it to these gloves that look like they're made out of Minecraft blocks or something. This right here is a problem which there are workarounds, and I'm not saying all of the old items are useless. I use a lot of the old items actually. I think this hat, for example, which is an old item, looks very, very nice. And this chest piece and these legs are also nice, but I mean, look at these boots, right? And then compare them to the boots that were released just now. Just if I go back and I see, now you can see them next to each other. Look at the difference in quality between these boots. This is the difference between an old Heroforge item and a new Heroforge item. And some of these old items are straight up remakes of one another, and I can show this with the gloves. For example, these, if we put on these hide bracers, and on the other hand, we put on the new Tundra gloves, these gloves are basically these same gloves, except one of them is updated with fresh textures and the other is old. And in the same way, and you see this katana that this guy is holding? There is actually an old katana. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, here it is. You can put it in the other hand, and now you see the difference, and the difference is night and day. Now, this next tip, this is a real rookie mistake, if you've ever done this, which is trusting Heroforge based on the names of the items. So let's say, oh boy, it's time to play some D&D, and I want to be Legolas. So I am going to make an elf. Let's type in here, because of course we're gonna pick a pre-made outfit as well. Elven. What is this? Is this elvish heavy armor? I don't know. This doesn't really look like Legolas. So I guess I'll go to elvish light armor. You know, it's not great, but I guess if this is the only elven armor in the game, I'm gonna have to go for it. No, not at all. There are so many more better outfits you could find if you really wanted to make Legolas, and I'm not gonna get into it here because it's gonna take it forever. But the point is, do not trust you don't have to use these items based on the names of what they are. So this right here is one of my older models, and you can probably see that from the striped face paint, as this was, you know, before we had those proper scar decals. And this right here is a pretty common thing for me to do, as I do a lot of world building with Heroforge, you know, updating older characters to newer characters, and this obviously being the more updated version of the same characters in this case. And recently I've had some requests to look at the models of subscribers and make a video about what I would do differently to potentially improve their models. So that is exactly what I'm going to be doing now. If you want me to look at one of your models and feature it in a video, then all you need to do is just be subscribed to the channel and post a link with one of your more recently updated Heroforge models in the comments below. And also along with a brief description of what the character is about, so that I have an idea of their personality and what kind of vibe to give them, which matters a lot when it comes, especially when it comes to things like posing. And to share a link, all you do is you go up here and you click share, and you take this link and you copy it and you send it in the comments along with the description. And out of the people who do send links in the comments, I will at random select 3 people, and I will make a video in the near future about updating their models and what I would potentially change to improve or update them. And yes, if you like this video, then please press like, and if you dislike this video, then you know, by all means, press dislike.